about the heartbreak that occurs when people we care about choose ego or the path of ego over and over, and it snowballs and they just keep going and denying their healing. And as someone who cares about them, you just kind of have to surrender, because they're at that point where, you know, they have to turn themselves around and come back to themselves. And you know, it doesn't really work to tell them to come back to themselves. At least from my experiences, it has not been very effective. And so, yeah, I talked a little bit about it on my story and the heartbreak, but how, you know, heartbreak is in itself a very beautiful experience as human beings, to appreciate its transformational abilities, and how, you know, you end up having to reform your heart into a new evolved shape, basically. And yeah, you know, so these experiences, they mold us, and they transform us, and they trigger us to alchemize our emotions, and learn also from these experiences. So I wanted to talk a little bit about ego, and you know, I encourage everyone to let go of ego. It's not like fight it, it's not like eliminate it, it's like I don't need you. And that has to be the root if you want to experience a satisfying life, because it's not going to be satisfying if you carry your ego with you. You're never gonna feel satisfied, and you're never gonna let go of things that you should let go of. So it's really important to identify it and acknowledge it, and not like shame yourself for it or like attack yourself for it, but just, you know, be like, I see you, and like, that's okay that I felt that way. It's okay that I had that reaction. I know that I'm in this experience and that these reactions are happening, and it's a part of my transformational period as I evolve and as I be a human. And acknowledge it, and then, as I like to say, hang it up at the door and walk in. So the thing is that no one is more perfect than another, no matter what they're doing and how responsible they're being with their ego. You know, ego dropping is an every moment occurrence, and, you know, nobody is just like, oh, I don't have ego anymore. No, that's an everyday and every moment choice and acknowledgement. And I myself have countless times in a day where I am acknowledging my ego and hanging it up at the door. So, you know, no one is more perfect and no one is more advanced than another when it comes to this. But, you know, when we make these decisions to succumb to our ego, it gets rough, and yeah, it gets really confusing, and it's hard to get out the further you go in. So, you know, the best we can do is shine a light and, you know, usually pray about it. But yeah, just shine a light, be your example, hold the vibration that you want them to reach, and whether they reach it or not, you're holding that vibration, and you can feel good about that, and focus on that, you know, because it's about, you know, your experience being prioritized is what makes the world go round in the right way. So focus on that and hold that vibration, and hopefully they meet you there. And a lot of the times that can happen, and it may take a really long time, but who knows? I mean, it could even be like lifetimes, but or regardless, you know, like, you know, you will attract those who are at that vibration, and that's what you really want. So